Hi guys, welcome to my channel. As you know, I'm Dr. Hampton, and today I'm with Dr. Wendie Trubow. And Dr. Wendie is the author of a crazy book entitled Dirty Girl. And it's all about toxins, looking great, and feeling freaking amazing. This is not her first rodeo on my channel because she was celebrating my 75th podcast episode, and she was a guest on that. So it was really cool to have her there. I'll make sure to have a link to that video in the notes. And I really appreciate her book because guess what? Me and my wife have adopted many of the principles in her book at home. So my question for you though is, if have you been looking for a way to get started on your detoxification journey and you're just not sure where to begin? Well, I thought Dr. Wendie could come and just give us an idea of how to get started. And then you'll learn more when she's a guest on my next episode of the Protecting Your Nest podcast. And we'll touch on that in a moment. So, Dr. Wendie, so you have people in front of you, friends, family. They're like, where do I get started? What advice would you give them?
Tony, first off, thank you for having me back on your show
Yeah.
because I love working with you. You're a man on a mission, and it's a pleasure to work with a human who's committed to improving the world. So thank you for the work you do. Okay, so detox is one of those things that people often feel very intimidated by. I'll put it that way. So what I would say first off is you're never going to get there. It's not something you're going to achieve and then you're going to stop. It's a journey that you go on. And the goal is to do better this week than you did last week. Think of it like in broad terms rather than, I'm not perfect today. Okay, the goal's not perfect. The goal is just do better this week than you did last week. So starting to set the stage for having compassion for yourself and being kind to yourself and thinking of it more like a big, broad game instead of every moment is super crazy making, because it can make you crazy.
I,
So having said that, I always say to people, you eat every day, unless you're fasting. So if you eat every day, then the goal would be, let's level up your food to the very best your budget allows. The Environmental Working Group has put out, and every year puts out, a list of the top 12 foods that you should avoid eating if they're not organic. That's called the Dirty Dozen. They also put out every year the list of the Clean 15, which is a list of foods that if you can't afford to buy them organic, it's okay to eat them conventional. So between that, you got 27 foods, right? And so what I would say is, to the very best of your ability, try to have food that is organic and, in an ideal world, local. I live in Massachusetts. It is cold here 9 months of the year. So local takes second seat to organic, partly for our bodies and partly for the earth, because the earth is slowly, well, maybe not so slowly, steadily being poisoned. And the more the earth is unhealthy, the less the more difficult it is for us to be healthy because we're entwined. So I always say to people, start with food and start to peel off the food that you're eating that is artificially flavored, artificially colored, highly processed, highly sweetened, or sugary. Start to peel those things off because they're super inflammatory for your body. So you want to give your body the best opportunity it has to improve, and start by not stressing it. Okay, so start to peel it off and then add in foods that support your body's ability to remove toxins, like the cruciferous vegetables, the B vitamins, alpha lipoic acid, right? So add things in that your body likes and take away the things that your body doesn't like, because you do it every day. So you might as well do your best. And here's the unpopular part, Tony. Either don't drink alcohol or cut it down by 90%.
yeah. Yeah.
It's a toxin. I mean, think about this. If I said to you, Tony, you're my favorite podcast host, I have a big glass of poison for you, it's going to make your brain not work right. It might make you say some things that are dumb, and you might regret your behaviors tomorrow. And tomorrow, you're definitely not going to feel well. And by the way, it causes leaky gut, and it messes with your blood sugar, and it messes with your adrenals, and and absolutely, because it's a poison, you won't do any other detox. Would you like a big glass? Maybe two or three. You'd be like, this chick is crazy. You would totally think I was nuts.
Yeah.
But when we drink alcohol, that's what we're doing. And
Mm.
so the thing to take home from that is that it shuts down our detox instantaneously, and it is poison. So because your body knows it's smart, it has to deal with the poison it's being exposed to. You're not going to do the detox from the plastics, the flame retardants, the air fresheners, the chlorine bleach. All that stuff builds up in us as a result.
Wow. All great tips, and no surprise, as a doc who discourages foods that can cause inflammation, it makes sense to buy foods that are local and organic. It makes sense to prioritize nutrition, arguably the most important thing you can do. And I love the EWG, Environmental Working Group, being able to give us a starting point. And if anything on that list does not align with your dietary pattern, rather your plant or animal based, just ignore that. But it does give you a place to start. And I love that. So you add the right stuff, you subtract the things that detoxify, get that stuff out of your life. And yes, I remember learning a lot about oxidative priority and how alcohol is going to be prioritized when it comes to a fuel source. Therefore, everything stops when you put that toxin in your body. So let's stop doing that
Yeah.
and give our body what it really deserves. And yes, I'm sure New Year's we can do things like that, but let's not make alcohol the priority by avoiding that. So I really appreciate all your tips. I also want to say that, yes, you were a guest on podcast episode, not just 75, but 144. So we're going to really enjoy that episode because we walk through your book chapter by chapter and share many of the principles that you want the audience to learn. So make sure you check out that. I'll make sure there's a link to that. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video. And also, I have a link tree, and some of the things on the link tree include things that I feel will add value to your life. So check that out. It helps support the channel. And until we do this again, continue to be safe, be well, and continue to protect your nest.